What's goody? What's poppin'? It's your boy WhosManz. You already know what time it is. Before we get into this, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. We're getting into the air raid playbook here. Got to give a big shout out to Coach Mackey. Definitely was a huge inspiration into me doing this. Also, NYKia and yeah, but really like this offense. It's simple, really easy reads. I feel like it's just easy yards. One thing this does is spread the defense out, and you can just really attack certain parts of the field, especially if you have your matchups. You can really attack those matchups. So we're going to get into shallow cross in this video. Like I said, this is going to be a multiple part series, so stick in there because we're going to get through a lot. So let's get into it. All right, so first we're going to get into shallow cross. This is a really good play because it really divides the field up really well. Makes it hard for your opponent to really key in on one thing, or has a lot of different levels to this play here. Obviously, you have your drag route from either your Y or your H. You do have H shallow cross, which Kirk would be considered the H in this. And he's going to be rather than that drag route where Ertz is running the deep dig. But this is just the, I guess, Y shallow cross. And really the only thing that I would change is putting Connor on a out. If you do have a running back that has backfield master, you can put him on a table route. It's just gets to the flat a little bit quicker. But these out routes are super hard to guard. So there is that. Now, as far as the read progression goes on shallow cross, it's pretty simple. So usually I like to go with a quick check to the streak. If it is like, cover 2, or if they're shade down in cover 2, cover 3 cloud and they shade down for some reason, or they're just playing hard flats on that side, you can't catch them sleeping with the streak. Next, which I guess technically would be my first read, is going to be the shallow. So if it's your H or your Y running your shallow, which your Y usually is always going to be your tight end. Actually, yeah, the Y is always a tight end. And then what makes the X and the Z, which I'll get into later, because it makes it easier to understand the names of the plays and what they're running. So green is the X, not just because he has the X logo over his head, but he is the X because he is on the line of scrimmage. So your number one outside receiver on the line of scrimmage is always going to be the X receiver. And then the Z is always going to be the outside receiver that's off the line of scrimmage. So more is going to be the Z. And then your Y is typically going to be your tight end. The H can be a running back or, another slot receiver. So the H isn't always, the H in every offense, but in the air raid, he's labeled as the H. Sometimes they just call him the slot or what have you. But so your read progression is going to be the drag there. Next, it's going to be the H, which is your deep dig. Then is going to be your post. I guess your 1A, 1B would be your drag, and then your out route. Just depending on how that streak takes the outside corner. So we'll do a quick here. So as you've seen there, they played, and I picked cover 2, and I'll go through each coverage just so you understand what's going on here. So in cover 2, you understand that pretty much all of the zones are going to be around the 40 to 45. They're playing underneath, you know, they're trying to keep everything in front. And then you have your two deep safeties, making sure that nothing gets over top. So as you see there, everything's staying underneath. So a couple of things you can do with this is, if you understand that you have a mismatch at running back against the linebackers, you can take your out route from your running back or your drag. Looking at how cover 2 plays, you understand that if it's Tampa 2, this deep, the middle linebacker is going to take the deep dig, as you've seen there. So what's going to happen is you're going to have your option between this drag here, which you can fit it in right now, or you can throw it to your running back. Those are your, 1A, 1B reads. If you do have a really athletic tight end and you see this here, I'd probably just dump it off to the tight end. But in this occasion, you have your option. Now, you don't want to go to this deep dig because, like I said, you have this linebacker here. But you go through your read progressions. You see that you have one of two options to go to really quickly, because the air raid, you just want to get your players the ball in space with grass quickly. The quicker you can get to them, that's really, it's just good. That means you're not getting sacked. Really good against blitzes. Run it one more time just to give you an idea. So you see there, throw it to your tight end. And this is, you're going to dink and dunk your opponent down the field the entire time. And what's going to end up happening is you keep doing this, you're playing them into your hands. So they're going to start to shade down. They're going to try to cheat. And what's going to happen is, if they shade down, now that middle linebacker is going to try to take away, Ertz. And what's going to happen is that deep dig is either going to be wide open over the middle, or you can fit it in over top. In some cases, if that's D-Hop or somebody, you can check your streak or your post, but usually you want to dink and dunk. So you see there, you have your running back, and usually running backs in Madden at least do really well against corners. So you have that. So this is cover 2 against hard flats, and I don't know if the mic is going to play shallow or not. Hopefully they do. I'll need to get 2 controllers at some point. I don't know when, but so in this case, you do have your running backs there. But if you see here, and I will actually do it again, you're going to see, if you quickly check that streak route on the outside by Moore, they play hard flats. Sometimes you can fit it in there on the outside. And we're going to do this one more time just to show you really quickly. So that's the beauty of this is, they shade down just because you've been hitting them in the flats and underneath a lot. They're going to see that, and he reacts to that really quickly, and you can't fit it in there on the outside on that streak because it's cover 2. That safety's not going to be able to get over there quick enough. And then also, you still have the option to hit that drag route underneath, depending on, if they still have the mic and that slot corner playing back far enough, you can get it in there. But like I said, if they're shading down, the Mike linebacker is going to try to take Ertz, which in that case, your deep dig will get open. But I can't do that right now, so I don't have 2 controllers. So there is that. Now I'm going to show you against cover 3. So this is against cover 3 Sky. If you know cover 3 or any cover, cover 1 man, cover 3, you understand that you're going to have 3 deep zones. You have 4 underneath zones, which means the underneath is going to be a little bit easier to get to. So once again, you go through your read progressions, check your streak real quick. Then you're going to your, your drag route or your flat route by your running back. Next, you're hitting your dig and then your post. So checking this out. You do have your running back route there. And if you understand how each of these zones play, it makes it a lot easier to make your reads. Now, you don't just stick to your pre-snap reads, and then because some people come out cover one and then switch to cover two, and then you make the wrong read. So once again, you check that. You see you have the underneath as well, that drag. You take that, get your couple yards, and if you get at least 4 yards, you're gonna be good. You get 4 yards, another 4 yards. By third down, you get another 4. You have a first down. So that's really the goal there. And you see he's backing up too much. Pick up 4 or 5 yards each time. And you also have one-on-one with either a corner or a safety on your running back or tight end. And you see how quickly you can get the ball out. And then once again, you just make your reads if they shade down, and you notice that the your underneath zones are playing closer to the line of scrimmage and they're trying to take away the drag. You do have the deep dig over top of that. So, and then you also have the deep dig going over top of everything else as well. So once again, you're reading your streak real quick, then you check your flat and your drag route, then you go to your dig, your post, and this is cover 3 cloud. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. You see he bites down, and then you can fit that in there. But when you make these reads, you definitely have to be a little quick, because things end pretty quickly. You can end up throwing a pick. I'll run it a couple more times just so you guys can see. And in some cases on the cover 3 hard flats, you can fit that deep dig in there, because he will get past. Now, if it's the user, they may keep going with that dig. So if you notice they're playing cover 3 hard flats, something like this, you'll have to make that throw pretty quickly to get it in before he bites down on the out route. And same with the drag. You'll have to get that in there pretty quickly. Next, I'll be showing you guys cover 4 quarters. Quarters will play 2x2s a lot better than palms, so I feel like it makes sense to show you guys this. And I will show you on palms just in case they decide to run palms. So once again, you make your reads. You look at your streak first, then you look at your running back, and you give it to your player who is in space. And you see here they're playing off coverage, so immediately I'm not really focusing too much on the streak, but you do have the running back route to the flat. And you already see that, when you're checking your out to your, your drag here, you see you have a linebacker to take him immediately. Boom. Because this is a match style defense, so he's going to take him over the middle. But you have him in space. You hit him up. Boom. You pick up your yards. Next, I'm going to show you guys against like a cover 1 man or a cover. I'll also show you against cover 2, but this is going to be cover 1 man. Once again, you make your reads. Boom. You have your tight end against a safety mismatch there. If you don't like the matchup that you have against your running back, just make your read. Basically, wherever you see you have a mismatch is where I would really attack. So actually, let me get DeAndre Hopkins in here. So for instance here, I have D-Hop in the slot. I'm making my reads. I see that it's man. You have your mismatch on D-Hop. I did go through my progressions. I'm looking. I don't like the streak right off. I don't like the route by Ertz, he looks covered. Boom, you hit your D hop. Now, if that is a user and they decide to take D hop, you know, if you notice they're favoring D hop, obviously you would take your drag by Ertz. Boom. And that's where you would have to make your progression. So if you see that he cheats towards Ertz, you know that you're gonna have D hop there. So, and I'll do the cover 2 man contain. So once again, you look, boom, boom. You have a lot of space there from your running back. Get him out in space, pick up your yards. That could be a first down right there. Boom. And that's why I like putting him on the out route or the table route if you can. So you check 1, 2, boom. He gets a lot of separation. That was just inaccurate, but he gets a lot of separation. It kind of rubs off there. You check your 1, 2, boom. Give it off to your running back. Pick up your yards. You don't have to really be too concerned with what your opponent's coming out in. You just have to make your reads, because they could throw out whatever they want to throw out there, but you can't always guard everyone. So, you look at your number 1, 2. I see that there's a lot of space over there. As I was looking at my first read and my second read, so I'm going to hit my running back. And yes, you will be throwing to your running back quite a bit in the air raid. So don't be afraid to do that, even though that was a crazy cut. But you see space, you throw to grass, basically. I see that, that number 1 on the right side there, my Z, the corner's playing off coverage and he backs off immediately. I have no one over my Y, so I know that he's running inside. And the strong safety on that side of the Z is still hanging super far back, so just throw it to grass there. If you don't want to throw it to him, if you see this linebacker here, which is why you have to make your reads, you see here the linebacker is going to start going towards this running back here. You do have grass in the second level as well, so you might be able to hit that depending on what your user does. So if the user decides to chase the running back like so, which he doesn't, you can hit that up. So always make sure you go through your progressions, but usually I would just go to whoever gets open first and what makes sense. So, you look at this again, you see, nope, boom, I have my running back, and I would take him against a safety or a corner any day. So there's that. So I had to add this in afterwards. Shotgun doubles, drag under. You can do a pretty cool shallow cross in this. Basically, you have to make a couple of hot routes, but the nice thing about this is that corner post is really dope. So here's the adjustments. So once you make those adjustments, you're just going to have your traditional shallow cross. And the only thing I'd probably change is I would put my best receiver in at the X, who's running the corner post. Reason being, if they're playing cover 4 quarters, or if they're playing like a cover 0 blitz, you just get more separation on that second move, and sometimes that results in a touchdown. But other than that, I mean, you read it the exact same. So we're gonna get back into the part of the video I already recorded. So yeah, here we go. This first play was gonna be shallow cross or 91. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later. Next concept I'm going to go over is going to be 92, or the mesh, which is probably the most I can't even think of the word, but it's one of the plays that you're gonna want to use the most in the mesh or in the air raid, because it's one of the harder plays to stop, and it's one of the easiest plays to run. A lot of options to go over, and yeah. So I'll see you guys next time.